Hello everyone, in this video we will discuss about kingdom Animalia, and this kingdom Animalia, that is eukaryotic organisms, multicellular and heterotrophic organisms, and in animals there is no cell wall and have an internal digestive chamber with one or two openings. So these are some common characteristics of kingdom Animalia. Now kingdom Animalia, that is divided into two, that is invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates means having no notochord or vertebral column, and vertebrates means they have vertebral column. So first we will discuss about the invertebrates. Invertebrates that again divided into these phyla. So first one, that is Porifera. Second one, that is Cnidaria. Third one, that is Platyhelminthes. Fourth one, that is Nematodes. Fifth one, that is Annelida. Sixth one, Arthropoda. Seventh one, mollusks. And eighth one, that is Echinodermata. Now one by one we will discuss the different phyla, their characteristics and related examples. So first one, that is Porifera. So Porifera means bearing pores. So these are organisms which bear pores in their body, and these are multicellular organisms, and these are known as sponges. So you have heard about sponges. So we also use these sponges in our homes. The examples of this Porifera phyla, that is Spongilla, Spongia, Hypospongia. So keep in mind all the examples and all the characters of different phyla. Now the first character of Porifera, that they have pores and they lack well developed organ system. So Porifera, the first one character, that is they lack well developed organ system. Sponges, they have a hollow body. Hollow means, this is the character of the Porifera. Hollow means they have empty body. For example, this is the organism, so this cavity, that is hollow, that is empty. Adult sponges, they can move from place to place, and they have ability to regrow their or regenerate a lost or damaged body part. So these are some characteristics of Porifera and the examples Spongia and Hypospongia. The next one, that is the phylum Cnidaria. Cnidaria. This phylum has tentacles on their body and they have nidocytes. Nidocytes. What are the examples of this phylum? That is sea anemone, hydra, jellyfish, etc. So learn minimum 2 examples of each phyla. Now what are the characteristics? They have a body cavity, and their body cavity, that is called as coelentron. The body cavity, that is known as coelentron, that act also as a digestive chamber. These organisms, they have mouth, and that mouth, that is covered by tentacles. And cnidarians, they can either be stationary or free swimming. Stationary means they can remain on one place, or they can be free swimmers. Cnidarian also, they can regenerate their lost body part. Now the next one, that is the phylum Platyhelminthes. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat. So the phylum have organisms which have flat body and single opening. So the example of this phyla, that is liver fluke and tapeworm. Liver fluke or tapeworm. So what are the characteristics? They have soft and unsegmented body. Unsegmented body, that for example if they have body like this, so there are no segments. Segments are like this, but this phylum they have no segmented, soft body and unsegmented body. And the digestive system that has only one opening, only one opening. Most organisms belonging to this class that live on the body that act as parasites. For example, liver fluke or tapeworm. Now the next, that is the phylum nematodes. Phylum nematodes. These are nematodes have organisms that have thread-like body, and the organisms that are known as round worms. Example, roundworm, pinworm, hookworm. What are the characteristics of the organisms that they have body, thread-like body, tapering at both the ends, and there is cuticle. Cuticle is the outer layer of skin. So there is cuticle that is present in the body of these organisms. Head that can be easily distinguished. For example, this head. So head can be easily distinguished in this phyla. Now the next one, that is the phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida. So what is the main characteristic of this phylum? That they have segmented body. They have segmented body and ringed or worms that fall under this phylum Annelida. Worms like lugworms or earthworm. So you have seen the earthworm. The earthworm, they have segmented body, and this come under the phyla Annelida. What are some characteristics of this phylum? That they have tough but flexible fibrous outer covering. So if there is earthworm, the earthworm have tough but flexible body, and body of most annelids, they are divided into multiple segments with the help of septa, and they have well developed excretory system, digestive system, circulatory system and nervous system. And the digestive system present, that is mainly a straight tube in this phyla. So these are the characteristics of phyla Annelida. The next one, that is the Arthropoda. In this organisms that comes insects, spiders, scorpions, shrimps, etc. Now what are the characteristics of this phyla? They have also segmented body like annelids, but they have paired limbs. So what is paired limbs? Limbs means arms or legs. They have paired limbs. They have tough exoskeleton. Exoskeleton means outer covering, that is outer skeleton, that is exoskeleton. They have well developed organ system, and most of arthropods they lay eggs. The next one, that is the phylum Mollusca. Mollusk means soft. So these organisms have soft body but have outer hard shell. In Mollusca, example that is snail. Example snail, oysters or mussels. What are the common characteristics of this phyla? They have specialized feeding structure that is known as radula. So keep these different terms in your mind, that they have structure that is radula, and like arthropods they have an open vascular system. Now next phylum, that is the last phylum, that is phylum Echinodermata. Echinodermata. What are the examples of this phyla? That is starfish, sea urchin, brittle stars. Now come on the characteristics. Characteristics, they have an internal skeleton of small ball-like structures and have flat plates, rods or crosses. Like in starfish, there is flat plates or crosses, and their body that can be divided into 5 equal parts, like this, 5 equal parts by imaginary lines. And many of these organisms, they can regenerate their lost parts such as arms or spines, and they have also tube feet that is projected outside through the skeleton. So these are the different characteristics of 7 or 8 phyla. So these are the phyla under invertebrates. Now we will discuss about the vertebrates. Vertebrates means presence of notochord or vertebral column. So in this Pisces, apes, these are classes. Kingdom Animalia under vertebrates, in this phylum that is Chordata. Phylum Chordata, and have 5 classes: Pisces, apes, Reptilia, Amphibia and mammals. In this also we will discuss about the characteristics of these classes and their example. So first one, that is Pisces. So all fishes belong to this class. All fishes belong to Pisces class. Now the characteristics. So fishes may have bony skeleton and can be scales on their body. They have streamlined body and fins. They are present in these fishes. Most of the fishes have a body that covered with scales. Now the breathing organ in fishes, that is gills. Breathing organ in the fishes, that is gills. And the most important point, that is these are cold-blooded animals. They maintain their temperature according to the surroundings. So these are cold-blooded animals. The next one, that is the amphibia. Amphibia means they can live on land or in the water. For example, salamanders, toads. Example of this, they are salamanders, toads, frogs, etc. Now the characteristics, most of them can swim and lay their eggs in water. Then young toads or frogs, they are called tadpoles and they have tail and breathe through the gills. The next one, that is the adult, they can breathe through the gills, but adult frogs and toads, they do not have tail or gills. And all amphibians have a naked slimy skin. So these are the characteristics of amphibia. The next one is the reptilia. Reptilia means to creep or crawl. The examples of reptilia, that is snake, alligators or crocodiles. So what are the different characteristics of reptilia? That their body, that is covered with scales. They have limbs such as lizards, crocodiles and turtles. They may be aquatic or terrestrial, and most of reptiles, they lay eggs with leathery shells. And these reptiles, they also cold-blooded animals. In vertebrates, only the mammals, they are warm-blooded. All others, they are cold-blooded animals. The next one, that is the aves. Aves means birds, or they have wings. What are the characteristics? They have wings, they have feathers, they have hollow body cavity, and they are warm-blooded. Aves, they are warm-blooded animals. The next characteristics, that they lay eggs and they take care of their young ones. The last one, that is the mammalia. So in mammalia, what are the characteristics? They are warm-blooded animals, and all mammals, they have hair on their body. Next, most mammals, they have external ear and nose. Mammals breathe through their lungs. So this is all about kingdom Animalia. And vertebrates, invertebrates, different phylums, and vertebrates, different classes. A single topic that is left, that is the nomenclature. Nomenclature. So Carl Linnaeus, he proposed the binomial nomenclature of a classification of living world. So, for example, how we write the scientific names. So with the help of example, we discuss it. For example, mango. Mango, that is a common name. Mango is a common name, and Mangifera indica, that is a scientific name. This scientific name, that is same all over the world. But this common name, it can be changed from country to country. Now, how we write the scientific name? There are two parts of name. First one, that is genus, and second one, that is species. In genus, the first word, that should be capital, and in species name, the first word, that should be in cursive. When we write, we should underline this scientific name. We should underline the scientific name, but when this is in print form, it should be in Italian. So these are some rules of nomenclature. Genus and species. Genus name, that should be in start from capital letter, and species name should from cursive letter, and it should be underlined or in Italian form. So this is all about your chapter classification of the living world. Hope you understood all the chapter. Thank you.